Welcome to the Buddhist Temple of Toledo. Please be seated and turn to page 2 in your liturgy books. Gata of atonement, all evil karma ever committed by me since of old on account atone for it all. Nikaya 3 Refuges. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Dharma. I take refuge in Dharma. I take refuge in Sangha. I take refuge in Sangha. The 5 remembrances. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My deeds are my closest companions. I am the beneficiary of my deeds. My deeds are the ground on which I stand. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My deeds are my closest companions. I am the beneficiary of my deeds. My deeds are the ground on which I stand. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My deeds are my closest companions. I am the beneficiary of my deeds. My deeds are the ground on which I stand. This precious human life, rarely encountered, is easily lost. Now that I have life and opportunity, may I practice the Dharma wholeheartedly. Mahayana Refuge. In my heart, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. May I liberate suffering beings and bring them to great joy. May the compassionate spirit of love grow within me, so that I may actualize the great way. In my heart, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. May I liberate suffering beings and bring them to great joy. May the compassionate spirit of love grow within me, that I may actualize the great way. In my heart, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. May I liberate suffering beings and bring them to great joy. May the compassionate spirit of love grow within me, that I may actualize the great way. Invocation of the lineage. I give thanks for the guidance of my teachers, for the lineage of teachers before them. I give thanks and offerings for their devoted practice of generosity, moral discipline, patience, joyful effort, concentration, wisdom, skillful means, unshakable vow, spiritual powers, and awakened awareness for my benefit. May their years of life be lengthened, may their vows be completely realized, and may I cultivate these perfections with their guidance. 7 practices of the Bodhisattva. I bow down in body, speech, and mind. I offer the best I have to give, both real and imagined, to fill the space between us. I regret and purify all transgressions. I rejoice in all virtues. I request you to remain until total enlightenment. I request wise and compassionate guidance. I dedicate my merit for the sake of all beings. Generating love and compassion. May all sentient beings be free from clinging and hatred. Being close to some and distant from others, how wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will free them from clinging and hatred. Bless me to accomplish this. May all sentient beings enjoy happiness in the causes of happiness. How wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will bring them happiness in the causes of happiness. Bless me to accomplish this. May all sentient beings be free from suffering in the causes of suffering. How wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will free them from suffering in the causes of suffering. Bless me to accomplish this. May all sentient beings have the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from clinging, hatred, jealousy, miserliness, doubt, pride, wrong view, ignorance, and dualistic thoughts. How wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will bring them to this state. Bless me to accomplish this. Please stand for the Shosai Myo Kichido Dharani, found on page 6. We will be doing the slow version. Shosai Myo Kichijo Dharani. Infinite realms of light and dark convey the Buddha mind. All that is and we ourselves come forth in perfect harmony. We offer this sincere and devoted practice for the many beings of the 6 worlds and dedicate it in grateful thanks and to the strength and sound practice of the Great Heartland Sangha and its teachers. May our virtuous actions be clear from all interferences, and may our vows be fully realized. We especially dedicate these merits to all those who suffer as a result of injustices, calamity, cruelty, and war. With gratitude to our original teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha, may the merits of our practice awaken all sentient beings. And to Dwayne Jr., Ryushin, Claire, Amy, Charles, Stephen, Laverne, Rhiannon, Kaijin, Nancy, Sister Suzette, Butsuyo, Tenson, John, Reverend Eugen, and Roger, may they have peace and healing. And to Ernest, Robert, Phil, and Hayden at the time of their death, and to those we hold in the silence of our hearts, as well as those names we now voice aloud. May we live in perfect peace with Buddha Dharma, and may we realize the Buddha way together. All Please prepare for Zazen. We'll now recite the Sangha Covenant found on page 8. We, the Daishin Kokuji Sangha, with respect for the worth and dignity of each person, with wonder at the wisdom and compassion we seek to cultivate by practice, and with deep gratitude for the teachers of this lineage and our connection to one another, covenant to support each other by upholding the precepts of doing no harm, practicing good, and actualizing good for others. Please be seated. I'll sit comfortably so you can make eye contact with Rinzin Roshi. And in a moment, we'll recite the Gatan opening the sutra, also found on page 8. Gatan opening the sutra.
All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for choosing to be here today. Some of us have just completed what's called a Rahatsu Sesshin, and that that is a particular retreat that has the theme and dedication to acknowledge the awakening of Shakyamuni Buddha. And so I'd like to address that with you today, that awakening of the Buddha. You know, every other tradition seems to have its cool holidays, you know. We get to do fun things. Well, we do too, We, we don't have to be like, oh, like all the time, like most of the time, but not all the time. But happy birthday to you. Boom. You know? Oh, joyous celebration, you know. So anyway, we get Bodhi Day. Yeah, we get Bodhi Day. That's right. Damn it, we get Bodhi Day. And this has to do with enlightenment, you know, awakening and awakening and awakening and awakening and enlightenment and Kensho and Satori and Nirvana and all the goodies. And rightly so. Rightly so. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Although it's really easy to misread. It's easy to put yourself into a box and hold yourself there based on an unfortunate misunderstanding of the project. I see this happen sometimes, and I will do what I can to help you unlock this cage you put yourself in, this cage I put myself in, perhaps. This cage we find ourselves the maker of and the caretaker of and the hoarder of. Even as we wish freedom, kinda we don't. So we come, we gather, we put our feet on this floor together. We let the blessings of the Zendo soak into our feet and up and into our hearts and our minds and our bodies. And you know, when we gather in such a way, it's not random. These forms that we do, of course, you could look at them and say they're arbitrary, and they could be this, they could be that, and that's, in a sense, correct. You know, they're inherited, they come from somewhere. There's a family style to the meal. But why do we do that stuff? Why does that matter? It matters because we're humans. It matters because we're humans and we have bodies, and we need to learn how to be in sync. We have to sync up together. Did you feel something, I hope, perhaps in the Dharani? God, I remember I encountered that when I was, first, I suppose I was 18 or so. Then a much younger version of myself in the throes of music school and chasing the most face-melting riffs possible, and after the most shredding solos to impress the chicks and everything, you know, that's what I was all about. The most virtuosic and aerobatic and Olympian music was where my ear wanted to go. Natural enough at that stage of life. But I swear I'd never heard anything like no. And to have an entire crew intoning this one sound. And somehow I found myself disappeared in an exquisite way. It was not the rhythm. It wasn't the intricate harmony. There was none. Maybe some overtones singing. Sure, it's not the melody, man. So what is it? It's magic. That's what it is. Magic. It's Buddhist magic. You see the snow out there? You feel that? Can you feel it? Can you feel that as it's your own body? It's your own mind. Not you looking at it. What is it to be it? To realize yourself and that snow are not separate. What does it taste like? What's the smell of it? Oh, phew. Is one of those yes and one of those no? Watch out. Watch out. So we come together, we bring our feet onto these boards, these floors, this sacred space, and together we hear the teachings. We wash the mind stream in basic, good, wholesome Dharma teaching. I am of the nature to die. Everything is impermanent. I am of the nature to be sick. This is just honest. A good dose of honest is what we all need. Me too. Not just once. It's not a one and done. No, I was honest once. That was enough. No, actually on and on and on, right? Over and over. And then after we rinse the mind stream in Dharma teaching, we speak together, we invoke refuge and the paramitas, atonement, all these beautiful things. And we come to the magic bit. So be very clear about it, when we're sitting down reciting the teachings, this is reciting the teachings, okay? When we stand and that bell hits and that priest comes up and begins their craft, we are all participating in this magic operation. And I mean magic in the most wholesome possible sense, this imaginal, real, liminal space of you and others merging. And then into some stillness. Let it all settle now, dear one. Relax. Don't try to recite the teachings. Don't try to hold on to the magic. Now, simply let go. Let go of all things. Particularly, dear one, let go of yourself. And just simply practice. Simply allow yourself to do your practice and trust it. Okay. And then perhaps some Dharma words, hopefully of use. So what about this awakening business? Now I'm going to tell you, everybody wants to get right to awakening. Okay? I want that. And yes, you do. And I'm on your side. I'm in your court. But I want to call attention to something here, okay? In the tales of our tradition, in the story of the tradition, yes, the typical thing to do in this moment is to speak about how the Buddha, the hero's journey, went forth from debauchery and hedonism and a permanent bacchanalia lifestyle, and then said, oh, this isn't cutting it, encountering suffering, old age, death, yada, yada. Began to study first blissful meditation, no, not sufficient. Formless meditation, no, not sufficient. Asceticism, no, not sufficient. Going down and down and down and down into this denial path. Right, pleasures of the flesh to pleasures of the soul, so to speak. Pleasures of the soul to letting go of that and being formless, letting go of that and trying to punish the body. It's this chute down to which he almost died from. And then said, I'm being silly. Took nourishment, came to what we call the middle way, and then came to awakening. The point being, you can come to awakening and do, and the Teisho ends. Here's the problem with this, okay? Well, it's not a problem. This is the partialness of that. What's not said typically in that tale is, let's say, some mythic number, say 10,000 lifetimes earlier. That's a nice mythic number. 10,000 lifetimes earlier, the Buddha was a magic-wielding yogi, a siddhi who could wield magic from a deluded place. And he came to realize when he heard that the Buddha of his world system and era was near, that he had to go see for himself And so he flew magically to the place where, in the story, he flew magically to the place where this Buddha of that realm was. And as soon as he got in the presence of that Buddha, even distant, he could tell that there was something he had no idea about. And all his magic force-wielding coolness meant nothing because he was still suffering and contributing to suffering. Magic has its use, but they are not much. Not to alleviation of suffering, anyway. And so he humbled himself, and the Buddha of that time gave him a prediction of awakening. And here's what's important. From that lifetime on, in the stories and tales of the tradition, right, the Buddha incarnated many, many times, many, many lifetimes before becoming what we think of as Shakyamuni Buddha. And they're called the Jatkala tales, and they're kind of like the Buddhist version of Aesop's fables. He's a rabbit who realizes he has to sacrifice himself for his friends, and does so. He's a deer that realizes patience needs to be expressed, and so does. And there's many, many lifetimes of these wonderful little animal tales. And you can think, oh, lovely, lovely gobbledygook for kids. A cute story for the little ones. Be careful. There's wisdom embedded in here, and I'll reveal to you what I think it is. You know that bit where we chant in the invocation of the lineage, thanks and offerings for the devoted practice of? Thanks, I give thanks, and I give offerings for the lineage's devoted practice. Devoted is an important word. Practice of generosity. Now think of these as like a category, generosity. The attainment of generosity mind, okay? And then we have moral discipline. This is virtue, okay? We have patience. Think of each of these, generosity, virtue, moral discipline, patience. Then we have joyful effort, right? Not just gutting it out effort, truly joyful effort, joy in the effort. And then concentration. Then wisdom. And it continues from there. Skillful means, unshakable vows, spiritual powers. Now spiritual powers contextualized correctly, wielded correctly for the elimination of obstructions and obstacles to practice, which, by the way, is what the Dhishan Dharani does. What is the magic of it? It's eroding obstacles for each of us to be able to practice well. And believe me, we all have them. It doesn't matter what stage of training you are. There's work to be done. There's nothing that stands in the sun that doesn't have a bright side and a shadow side, let's be clear. So what I would like to point out is that actually, if you think of wisdom as this sort of like, I don't know, defining switch that either is flipped on or off, you're not really seeing it correctly, okay? Yes, there are peak moments. Yes, there is awakening that either in fact has or hasn't occurred. Yes, that's true. But what also is true, maybe more importantly true, is that that wisdom is not more important than generosity. All of generosity is as much an expression of awakened mind as wisdom, fully weighted. Virtuous behavior in the world, moral discipline, is co-equal with wisdom. Wisdom here meaning awakening. Patience is so important, it gets its own category. Yes, it does. And for reasons. Patience with ourselves and our own near infinite capacity to be stupid and foolish and step in it. And infinite patience with others who injure us, though we may be innocent. Joyful effort. Believe me, the ability to have your effort be from bubbling, let's say, it's the joy of existence. Being itself is luminous and has kind of a twinkle in its eye, even as the fire kalpa rains down on us. That joyful effort. It's not, brisk, businesslike, perky, and pleasant. Please. Can we just not? More specifically, can you please stop that? May I help you? No, it's not that. No, it's even though I am tired people right now. This has been a long retreat. But I am so happy to be in your presence. It's the mother who has this child who will not go to sleep and still loves that child. Doesn't mean everything's easy all the time, But that love is in the center of it. Yeah, even when you screw it up. Maybe especially. The concentration, the ability for you to put your mind where you want it to be and hold it there. This is serious business. And just because someone has a flash of Kensho doesn't mean concentration has done its work and you no longer need it. Not true. Particularly dangerous, someone has a flash of wisdom and they think virtue no longer applies to them. Yes, it does. Karma does not go away because you've seen into the emptiness of things. Big wake-up call on the way, bro. I'm going to sit back and watch that one play out. Because I have no choice. If you would listen, it would have helped by now. Okay. So why am I saying all of this stuff? I'm saying this because when you hear me going on and on about awakening and the reality of waking and enlightenment, and I do that, and I stand by that. I hope you also hear that generosity is that too. In fact, it's a clear thing that when the Buddha would be going around touring, teaching, kind of like a Grateful Dead thing, and he's in front of a new crowd, his go-to talk was about generosity, generous mind, the mind of non-clinging. That's how important it is. Please don't just only fixate on koan and kensho as though that's the only thing that matters. It matters, yes, but... And not only that, it keeps going. Once wisdom has occurred, then now, post-kensho, skillful means becomes a real thing. You need training in. What does it mean to actually take the awakened mind and apply it? It is not self-evident. Unshakable vow based on realization is why it's unshakable. It's not just willpower. Willpower is doesn't reach it. Your willpower is not unshakable. Neither is mine. No one's is. Awakened mind, unshakable. Oh yeah. Spiritual powers, the real spiritual powers that matter, there's only one topic sentence, bodhicitta, alleviating suffering for all beings. Exotic mojo used for any other purpose is perilous. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. But awakened awareness, manifesting in a way to kind of tilt the scale a little bit, to alleviate obstacles and obstructions to compassion and love in the world based on wisdom, you're fine. But again, that needs training, just to be clear about it. What would that look like? Well, you have your home altar, hopefully. And you have Tara there, she's there for you. You have Buddha image, you have the teachings, and someone is in trouble, and what you can do very safely with great clarity is bring that to that altar and put it there and set intention for the alleviation of suffering. And if your altar is magically connected to the temple altar, it will be received and responded to in a way differently than if it's not. So please let's get that connected if it isn't. Every time a priest is here officiating, this happens. So, if someone finds themselves in a situation where they feel like they would love to be doing this deep wisdom stuff, and that's what it's about, but I can't do that, so I'll just stay away. You've missed a really important point. Generosity is wisdom. Wisdom is generosity. Moral discipline is wisdom. Wisdom is moral discipline. Patience is wisdom. Wisdom is patience. Do you see this? So there are many times in the course of a practitioner's life where what they're going to need to do is show up and swab the deck. Show up and contribute a smile and some good feeling, right? Be present and see if you can help with the flowers on the altar or clean a dish in the kitchen. And what you need to know is that this generosity of presence and this patience with yourself and this simple, virtuous act of helping with joy in the effort allows one to accrue enough merit to actually be able to concentrate and settle in, wherein the gate of wisdom can truly open. If you try to elbow your way past everybody to get to the wisdom stuff, if you try to elbow past your own karmic causes and conditions, it's not going to go the way you think it is. Relax, child, relax. You're fine. Every step along the path is exactly the path. And the path requires that your feet meet the step that you're on. Don't be trying to plan your steps 10 steps down there. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You got to step right here, man. Right here. Place that foot. Let the weight settle. Okay, that feels good. All right. What's this one now? And since the very beginning, since ordination happened, since the Buddha began his teaching, he framed the place where the Sangha practices and those committed to its care and custody as fields of this merit generation. And I take this very seriously. In my experience, it's very serious. It's very joyful, but it's very serious. Your presence here, your good feeling here contributed not for you to get a reward, but to help the Sangha. Creates vast merit for you and for all of us. To what? It's not to getting you a new Mercedes. It doesn't guarantee your relationship isn't going to fall apart if it really has already fallen apart and kind of should. It doesn't guarantee that ill consequences will never touch you. Let's be real for a sec, shall we? It certainly doesn't say that disease will never come your way. Remember the remembrances, please. But what it does guarantee, and this is a promise, the obstacles and obstructions between you and yourself will erode steadily, surely, reliably, but slowly. Slow enough that you can actually keep breathing. Slow enough that you can actually integrate this metamorphosis, this transformation, this process. And the ego self that wants to get it done right now is going to have to just learn a little bit about that patience. Going to have to take up a little generosity with itself. Bring a little joy, right? You see how these things all... And then the crazy thing is, and it's not crazy, the sane thing is, the sane thing is the further along you go, the more obvious the shit is. It's so obvious. It is so obvious. Once you've experienced it, once you've felt it. So yes, I celebrate and acknowledge the Buddha's enlightenment, the mighty Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Hell yeah, bring it. And yes, you all should get you some, you should work on this, but understand that every single step along the way is the path. The bottom line is you're either on the path or you're not. That's the big divider. And even there's a caveat. Actually, every step is the path no matter what. Some steps hurt. Some steps heal. Please, dear one, choose your steps wisely. Notice what heals and what hurts and adjust accordingly. Pay attention to your experience. You know, early on in the Buddhist tradition, when he first had passed away, there were no statues like you see behind me. This was a later evolution. We think in encounter with Greco-Roman culture, interestingly enough. But that's another conversation. But the markers and the totems of the Buddha's presence were either a stupa, which contained supposedly relics of his body, later becoming stylized, you know, these 3 rocks kind of thing. Or the other one, which I'm very fond of, was impressions of the Buddha's footprints. Have you ever seen those? It's like etched in stone or something, and it kind of says Buddha was here. Buddha was in this place giving teachings. And so place became very important. So with your feet, please realize your feet are the Buddha's feet. Please respect them. Please place them beautifully and wisely in the steps of the path. And please, let's realize the path together. For the sake of all beings throughout space and time, may it be so.